How did chartered companies drive early modern colonial ventures? Imagine a time when countries were racing to claim new lands and trade routes across the world. During this period, chartered companies became the main tools for these efforts. These companies were given official documents called charters by monarchs or governments. These charters granted them exclusive rights to trade, settle, and govern specific overseas regions. This setup allowed them to raise money from private investors, combine resources, and take on the risks of long sea voyages and colonization. In Scandinavia, especially in Sweden and Denmark, these companies played a vital role in their smaller but strategic colonial efforts. For example, the Swedish South Company was created in 1626 to establish a colony called New Sweden in North America. The company was given a royal monopoly over trade and settlement in the Delaware River area. This meant Sweden could participate in the colonial race despite having a smaller navy. Although the New Sweden colony was taken over by Dutch forces in 1655, the company's activities showed Sweden's active role in early colonization. Another Scandinavian example is the Swedish East India Company, started in 1731. It was granted a royal charter to trade with India, China, and other parts of Asia. This company had a monopoly on Scandinavian trade in these regions. It organized ships, managed trade goods, and brought back valuable items like tea, porcelain, and spices. These goods were highly sought after in Europe and helped Sweden compete with larger colonial powers. The company's structure, combining private investment and royal privileges, reduced the risks of such long and expensive voyages. The Danish East India Company, founded in 1616, was another example. It aimed to establish Danish trading posts and colonies in Asia, especially in India and the West Indies. Like the Swedish companies, it operated with royal backing and monopolistic rights, helping Denmark join the global trade network. Overall, chartered companies provided a legal and financial foundation that combined private money with government authority. They protected their trade interests with monopolies, controlled trade routes, and managed colonies. These companies often had government powers, including law enforcement and military defense, making them extensions of their home countries. They organized fleets, hired crews, negotiated with local rulers, and handled the logistics of trade and settlement. For smaller nations like Sweden and Denmark, these companies were essential tools. They allowed them to establish and maintain colonies, participate in global trade, and expand their influence during the early modern era. Although their efforts were smaller compared to larger powers like Britain or Spain, these companies helped Scandinavia become part of the broader story of early modern globalization and empire building. In short, chartered companies drove early modern colonial ventures by blending private capital with state authority. They made it possible for countries with limited resources to explore, trade, and establish colonies overseas. For Scandinavia, these companies opened doors to new markets and territories, shaping their role in the global expansion of the early modern period.